I'm Michael Peterson. I'm an acquisition manager at Now, Idaho. I once had a seller explain to me that he'd written an album of songs, so then he proceeded to show me on his phone the album of him sort of laid out, and he sang it to me with heavy eye contact.
What'd you do?
What could you do? You breathe and you say that's great, and you try to change the subject.
Did we get the contract signed?
We absolutely did, actually. We really helped him out of a bad spot. He was very, very happy to have relieved some of the stress in his life, and he wanted to sing to me about it. The ability to achieve all the goals in my life that I wanted, like financially, the way I wanted my job to be, a little bit of freedom, not so locked in place. The company's small, we're growing. I wanted to be a part of that from the ground up. Those are some of my favorite things about it and what keeps me really enjoying it. The service is, it's easy. Some people are in really, really bad spot. One in particular that is kind of near to me, being a veteran and former law enforcement officer myself, when I met with him and saw the situation that he was in, where they had pretty much taken their entire life savings, put all that in deposits, and work being done on a new build and property that was their version of Shangri-La, and it was everything they wanted. And then they found out that selling with an agent, the expectations that'd been given were incorrect, and if someone wasn't able to come in and help them sell their home under a deadline with a certain price, they were going to lose everything. It was gut-wrenching. This was this man who told his wife to trust him, that he knew how they could move forward and proceed, and she was just heartbroken. And we were able to bail him out of all of that. I think about it all the time. I keep in contact with him, and it's done wonders for me, just knowing that I could help out. I think that's my best example, is whether it's my son or my soon-to-be wife, I'll usually call and tell him on the ones that I'm particularly proud of. And it's just a lot of talking about it and explaining the situation, and I'm just really happy. They love me, so they love hearing that I've done something I'm really proud of and it was impactful. And like I said, coming from a veteran law enforcement background, I've always kind of had it hard baked in me to try and do some good in the world. I'm not trying to save the world one house at a time, but I do get a chance to do some good. So I connect with family. The obvious one would be the amount of time put into it, and I'm sure that's the case for some of the other guys that work here. I love telling people that I work more hours a day and more days a week than I really ever have. So I haven't found that particularly challenging. I would say the hardest thing is, I've got a personality. It's outgoing, outspoken, a bit maybe arrogant and stubborn. So having to accept that I don't know everything, and that, a little bit of charm and authenticity can only take me so far. There's a process that has to be followed. So I had to get out of my own way. So I'd say the difficulty was overcoming my own stubbornness and accepting that there's a process to help me get better, because I'm right at the edge of that good to really, really good. And I'm getting there, so that's been the challenge. That was one of the things that attracted me to the job. So I had other careers, but I never took any of them to completion, so there wasn't a whole lot of retirement set up. With that program, it gives me the ability to buy a home at a discounted price. So that's how I'm setting up retirement for myself. My father saved for 30 years and capitalized on compound interest so that he could retire in comfort. I didn't. In my late 40s, I had to figure out, how am I going to turn around and make sure that I retire in comfort? And I saw the path forward with the Weimer Coin program and the ability to buy homes, invest in them, create passive income, and do that all within the span of 10, maybe 15 years, depending on how long I decide to work. You need to be clear about what you want, and it has to be kind of aggressive. Just to say, I want a job that makes $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year, it doesn't exactly work that way. You have to know that a lot of effort is going to be put into that, and you have to come into this knowing, I'm going to put in more hours a day, more days a week, and in return, I'm going to accomplish all my goals. But you have to understand why you're doing it. You can't just say, I want money to want money. I tried. It doesn't really work very well. There has to be a bigger reason. My fiance is going to quit her job, go back to college, and finish getting her nursing degree. That was a dream she thought she was never going to be able to accomplish. But because I can now support all of us, she's doing it. Yeah, you just have to know what your why is. And as far as the teammate that I want to work with, obviously I want them driven. I want to be surrounded by people who are a little bit better than me, so some of that rubs off. And I really like a little bit opposing or different personality types. I don't want duplicates of me because I already know what I'm capable of and what I can do. A teammate who brings another component into that. Maybe I'm the fire and they're the ice, and an ability to work together, communicate with people that aren't resonating with me. Surprising it as it is, not everybody finds me completely agreeable. Not one, no.